So welcome back, guys, to the Gamers Addict Show. And right now, Bogy's Corner.
All right, so welcome, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, and video game, and movie, and everything to do with toys and entertainment. Welcome to Bogy's Corner. All right, so I am your host, Captain Bogy. Today is April 13th, 2019. Wow, April 13th, huh?
April 13th.
April 13th? All right. Are we in a DeLorean? I don't know. But anyway, we are live, and this is episode 11, and it's called Bogy was a Toys R Us kid. Now, who wasn't a Toys R Us kid?
I don't know.
Jeez.
Everybody knows what Toys R Us kid.
Yes, so huge shout out to Player One for putting together the Gamers Addict Show and giving me this platform here to be with you guys. And a big shout out to the rest of the T.G.A. gang.
Yeah.
All right, and Ghostbusters Chris, thank you for joining us, man. Being here, man.
I love Bogy's Corner.
So, appreciate that. What is Bogy's Corner? This is my platform, my outlet, where I share my experiences and my passion with you guys of decades of being a gamer's addict. So, since the 1980s, I've been a casual video gamer, comic book collector, toy collector, movie buff, movie collector, the whole nine. Bogy's Corner, other goal is to introduce, educate, and reinvigorate the passion in the youngsters of today and the OSGs of yesterday. You're probably wondering what's a OSG? OSG is an old school gamer. That's right, we're all OSGs, baby, right? All right, so what have I covered before? And you know what? You better backtrack and check these out. So, talked about Pac-Man, Metal Gear Solid, Max Payne, Minecraft, Donkey Kong, Resident Evil 2, Driver 2, Bogy's top 10 scariest video games of all time, Bogy growing up with Stan Lee, Bogy's top 25 toys of the 1980s. And now today, I will be talking about Toys R Us. Yeah. So this is going to be a very special episode because we're actually not only doing it in English for you, we're going to do it in Spanish. En español, mijo, sí. Vamos a estar hablando de todo esto aquí, pero so you stay tuned for that because it's going to be a later episode. Now the mastermind behind this was Player One, so I'm very excited to see how that Spanish version is going to turn out. Of course, he got the Three Few Ninjas, and hopefully some of you guys know who they are. They cornered me and he said, you are doing a Spanish version. And I guess when there's three ninjas and a Player One in front of you, you have to say yes. Hell. All right. So we're, and of course, that's going to be for our Spanish audience out there. So hopefully South America, Central America, and worldwide. Oh, also Hialeah. That's another country that we definitely have to country.
Yes.
Will be enjoying that Spanish version. Okay, so let's get into this. So, episode introduction. So, Bogy was a Toys R Us kid. Now,
What kind of Toys R Us kid?
it just enjoyed it. As soon as I walked in there, it was just like walking into another world, a fantasy world, a place where you know what, you could just let go and walk down aisles and aisles of entertainment, and there was something there for everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I remember the commercials. You know, the commercials always got us also, you know, after watching cartoons, they always had commercials, Toys R Us. We got the jingle, which we're going to do a special little something for you guys. You know, we got the T.G.A. trio quartet.
The choir here.
Oh, choir, yeah. That's what quartet would be for.
Trio.
Now, some key words that, you know, you probably associate Toys R Us with is childhood memories. They definitely brought some. Heaven. It was like a magical kingdom. And of course, parents used to use it as a leverage.
Yeah.
Oh, ¿quiere ir a Toys R Us? Pues se porta bien. O si no, no hay Toys R Us. Yeah. So easy translation. Oh, you want Toys R Us? You want to go? Okay, you better behave. So we know parents definitely use it as a leverage. Now we're going to talk more of the positive side of Toys R Us and the history, and of course the owner and the person that started Toys R Us. with a little bit of reality at the end of what actually happened to Toys R Us and actually what it's kind of going through. So that's going to be interesting. Now, we take things for granted until they're gone, but if anyone ever asked you, do you think that Toys R Us will ever shut down years ago? What would have been your answer?
No.
I would have never. Yeah.
No. It's Toys R Us.
Everybody buys
Are you
toys.
crazy?
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, it's like saying, will they ever stop making Marvel movies? No. What are you talking about? No, crazy. Will wrestling ever go out of style? No, wrestling. There's always going to be wrestling.
yeah.
There was no place like Toys R Us. It was the last toy store in existence where you can actually get toys you can't get in any other store
And
except for online.
and it was a place that created over 70 years of memories. And from child to that child became a father to became a grandfather. I mean, Toys R Us was always there for all generations. So very strange if somebody would ask that question. I would have never thought that would have happened to Toys R Us.
Now, do you remember the first time you went into Toys R Us?
I don't remember the first time, but I do remember, I was very small, maybe like 7 years old, 6, 7 years old. And of course, at that time, I mean, everything looks, freaking huge and amazing. And, I was just in La La Land as a child at that age.
You were small size?
A small child, yeah.
Yeah,
but-
Bogy.
yeah,
Little Bogy.
Little Bogy, yeah. All right, so let's talk about an intro. Let's introduce this thing here. Now, the founder, Charles Lazarus. Unfortunately, he passed away. He was 94 years old. And actually, I was watching our previous episode with Stan Lee. Stan Lee passed away at 95. I mean, look at this, great men, but they really survived. And it makes you wonder that maybe the goal and the things that they did in life really added years, to them lasting. So it's amazing, how close it is.
Like you said, you didn't want to grow up.
Yep. And he was known as the father of the toy business, and there's nobody that can contest that. It's just like saying Stan Lee, he's the father of superheroes. Charles founded and opened Children's Supermart, and then which became Children's Bargain Town, selling children's furniture. And we're gonna get a little more into that. Now, 9 years later, he co-founded and he opened up the first Toys R Us store. And the first one was actually opened in Rockville, Maryland. Now, when I saw this, I was like, holy cow, I lived in Maryland for a little while.
You did?
Yes.
Interesting.
And I remember Rockville, Maryland is one of the cities that were close by, so it's very interesting that the first store was there. Now, the mascot of Toys R Us is Jeffrey the Giraffe. Yeah. The headquarters was in Wayne, New Jersey at 1 Jeffrey Way. Bro, when you can have the address, saying your mascot or your company name, you got it going on.
So, question: did Jeffrey start off with Toys R Us right away?
No. Actually, I'm going to go through a timeline, and then we're going to discover when actually he was invented and he was presented to us.
Cool.
But definitely Jeffrey, and I'll mention that a little later on. He was known as one of the top 25 mascots of all time. And you can imagine there's been hundreds of mascots from different companies, sports, and all that. Locations of Toys R Us. Well, started here in the United States, then it branched out to Canada, and then Australia, Western Europe, Japan, you name it, it was there. Even Latin America, Central America, it is all over the place.
Awesome.
All right, let's talk about a little bit of the history. So how did this all start off? So Charles Lazarus, he served in World War II. And of course, World War II was from 1939 to 1945. And seeing the conversations of all his buddies and, after the war was over and the things that we're gonna do, man, I'm gonna make my family, I'm gonna buy a house, buy a car, get the job, get the wife, and have children. So this kind of got him thinking, because he was kind of a businessman, and his father was also a businessman, had a business himself. He said, you know what, I'm gonna open up a store, and he kind of anticipated the baby boom. So whenever you hear the baby boom, this is after World War II.
Okay.
So he went ahead and opened up his first store, and he was selling furniture, baby furniture. Now he was realizing that people were coming back maybe once, and that's it for baby furniture. But after a few years, people started asking, oh, do you sell toys? So this kind of sparked. He said, no, but I will be. And he started with a small collection of toys. And you know what? Parents were coming back more often to get the next toy. So, you know, baby furniture was maybe passed on to the next child or something like that. But, you know, people weren't coming back buying that. So Charles opened the first Toys R Us in 1957. And he just reimagined what he can do. So he opened something that was the size of a supermarket. His vision was aisles and aisles of toys. Eventually, Charles opened many of the Toys R Us, and his key principles were having more toys than anyone else, selling them at great prices, and keeping more toys in stock than anyone else.
Wow.
Just imagine you ever go to a toy store, or you know, you're going to buy something, you know, whatever store, and they just ran out. So that was one of the key principles that he wanted to keep, so he could differentiate himself from the competition. And really, at that time, there was not much competition, but
especially those small toy stores that don't have that much space.
Yeah. So he definitely reimagined, you know, what toys, you know, can do, and that was 1957. All right, now let's go a little timeline of the history of Toys R Us, including the owner, Charles Lazarus. Cool. So in 1923, in October, Charles Lazarus was born. He served between 1939 and 1945 in World War II. In 1948, February, at 25 years old, he went ahead and opened the first children's supermarket, Children's Bargain Town. So that's where he was selling the furniture. Then Charles started to introduce more toys into his store around 1950. 1957, June is when he founded the first Toys R Us. 1965, May, Jeffrey, the Toys R Us mascot, was presented. So that's when he was finally presented in 1965. So about 7 years later. But you know, you can see that he really had a game plan. He was always being innovative, and he definitely saw that. Okay,
Big
you know
vision.
what? Visionary.
Yeah.
1975, February, Jeffrey family was introduced. So Jeffrey was given a family, and his wife Gigi, along with their son and daughter, were presented to us. So now in 1975, there was a family that we could also gravitate to, and that was kind of smart, you know, because you know, we're talking about mothers gravitating to Gigi, and you know, kids, you know, looking at the little ones, and you know, really enjoying, and of course they would include them in Toys R Us commercials.
That really even existed.
Yeah. 1983, February, the introduction of Kids R Us. So started selling clothing, and why not? In 1975, February, Jeffrey was given a family. So now he has a wife and kids. So his wife Gigi and his son and daughter. 1983, February, introduction of Kids R Us. And as you guys know, Kids R Us selling clothing, and why not build on a brand? I mean, you're taking Toys R Us with decades of experience, and now you're gonna make it fun for, you know, parents to go to a store to shop for clothing also. It's a no-brainer. 1984, September, began going international. So finally, it's time to go international. They started off in Canada, Singapore, and of course from there it just blew up everywhere else. 1990, August, Charles was inducted into the Toy Industry Association Hall of Fame. Now, I don't know much about the Hall of Fame, but it sounds huge. So, you know, he's definitely someone that has affected the toy industry.
Wow.
1995, October, Charles received the Gold Medal Award, which is the industry's highest standard. So, of course, I mean, it's a no-brainer. You know, what he's done since 1957, I mean, accolades. 1996, April, introduction of Babies R Us. So now they're focusing on the even smaller ones. 1998, March, the launch of ToysRUs.com. All right, of course, you gotta go with the times, right?
Yeah.
2001, July, opened its international flagship store in Times Square. Now that was huge, 2001. Now it was known as the center of the toy universe. And I never got to go to it.
I did.
Yeah, you did?
There was a Ferris wheel in there.
Wow.
And a
Humongous.
set and a floor with just candy. They even had, and I wish I could lose those pictures. They had like a statue of Spider-Man swinging his web out like that. They had the bat signal on the wall and stuff like that. It was fun.
I saw they had one of Superman like catching a truck. He has a big head, but we're talking about big, huge, you know. Now I've seen a lot of pictures on it, and the place, especially Times Square. Times Square is, you know, the mecca of entertainment of, you know, New York and the world. So to have a store there, it's huge, and as big as the store that they had.
It was right across the street from TRL, right next to Good Morning America. And when my friend Justine and I had gone to the Toys R Us and left, we looked to the right, and there was a Hershey store. I mean, you get all the big stores there. I think there's even now an M&M store thing. I don't know. Somebody told me, and I was like, wow. It's just stores for that. I mean, even there, I don't know, is it Times Square?
So this
they have the Nintendo store. I mean, you have the big stores like there. It's almost like a landmark now. You have a store that way.
So it was as big as the Toys R Us itself, a store?
It was big. It was like multiple floors.
Really?
Yeah. And you can imagine Times Square, we're talking about prime real estate. So the rent must have been astronomical there. And remember guys, WWE also opened up a restaurant there for a while. Now, you know, I mean, not any business can last there a long time, but you know, WWE had its restaurant there, and you know, they did pay-per-views and things like that from there.
Oh, I heard that they're opening up a Bogy's Corner in Times Square.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
And
Let's see
actually,
Player One. Let's make it happen.
Somewhere I do have, I think I still have the ticket that we used to go on the Ferris wheel in the store.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's cool. All right, see that.
So, 2003 March is the closing of the Kids R Us store. So 2003, I guess, you know, business is business. If it's not making money, then, you know, you gotta close it down.
You know, Bogy, now that you mentioned that, for some reason I can't recall Kids R Us. I've always recalled Babies R Us and Toys R Us. Kids R Us was what, like a...
Yeah, it was another store for children's clothes.
Oh, children's clothes.
Yes, Kids R Us.
Okay.
2005 July, Toys R Us went private. So they were a publicly traded company, and I guess at that point, whatever they're restructuring financially, they needed to go private. 2007 February, they acquired FAO Schwartz, which you guys know is definitely a high-end, high-class toy store that has been around. It has been around for about 150 plus years. Also eToys.com, so they acquired eToys.com and Toys.com. So, you know, they were, again, restructuring business and, you know, thinking of the ways to keep on growing to catch up, because there's other companies that were on the tails of Toys R Us, like a Walmart, a Target, Amazon.com. Those were starting to take, you know, some of that, you know, so that the sales and chunks of the toy industry and being very competitive.
That was cool that they were able to get that name, Toys.com.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you know, whoever registered it first, I mean, it was smart.
That was money to get that.
Yeah, yeah. So you can imagine you probably clicked on Toys.com and then you went to ToysRUs.com. 2010 August, Jeffrey was named one of the top 25 mascots of all time. So again, even 2010, I mean, he was kicking ass and definitely being recognized, you know, for you know, being such a strong symbol for Toys R Us. 2015 in December, Times Square store closed down. So that was 2015. So it lasted about 14 years. 2017, before its liquidation, they had upwards to 64,000 employees worldwide.
Wow.
That's a lot of people
Being
employed worldwide. 2018 August, at the peak of Toys R Us, they had 807 stores worldwide. That's a lot of stores. 2018 March 22nd, Charles Lazarus passed away. So he was 94 years old. 2017 September, Toys R Us filed for bankruptcy. 2018 October, founded as Jeffrey's Toy Box, and it was featured in Kroger grocery stores and were located in Ohio, Texas, and Virginia. So, you know, they have patent and copyrights, and I guess some of them were sold, and so that they have always tried to, you know, keep the Toys R Us, you know, product alive.
So that's interesting. So in Ohio, Texas, and Virginia, they have now what?
They have Kroger's store that that has a Jeffrey's Toy an area in there, you know, called Jeffrey's Toy Box that they sell toys.
A small area.
Under the brand, yeah.
Like
under the brand of Jeffrey's Toy Box.
Stores, kind of like that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And they're just calling themselves Jeffrey's Toy Box. They're coming back.
Okay.
And 2019, there's news of Toys R Us doing a comeback. So, you know, hopefully there is something down the pipeline that Toys R Us, the brand, the name, I mean, the name itself has so much, you know, historical significance. So, you know, if anyone can bring it back, you know, it would be huge. You know, it would be huge. So that's the latest on that.
Who's this answer guy?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go ahead and take credit for that one. All right, guys. So now we have our Bogey Battle Bracket Bonus Trivia. So let's see how these two gentlemen here to my left and right do.
No, wait. It's not a Bogey Battle Bracket Bonus Rights Trivia. It's Bogey Battle Bracket Bonus Rights Trivia!
All right.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Very energetic.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the first question. All right, keep eyes up.
Oh, that's go ahead.
And you know what? It's actually being videoed, so it shows how you just leaned over. We could just rewind and see your cheating motives.
No, I had some pain.
Bro, you just got rescued. You know, we went through a lot of hassle, and you're just gonna go ahead and go back to your old ways?
Old ways.
All right, let's keep it there.
Player one doesn't cheat.
Question one. Why is the R in Toys R Us written backwards? A, when the owner registered the company, the clerk wrote it backwards by mistake. B, this is the way it is written in his native language. C, so it can look like a child wrote the company name. So the question is, why is the R in Toys R Us written backwards? A, when the owner registered the company, the clerk wrote it backwards by mistake. B, this is the way it's written in his native language. Or C, so it can look like a child wrote the company name. So, player one.
It's a good one.
A, B, or C. Okay.
I want to say C.
GHOSTBUSTERS?
I want to say C.
All right. The answer is C. All right, very good. And this was the brainchild, of course, of Charles Lazarus. You know, he wanted the logo, he wanted the name to look like it was written by a child. Yeah. And yeah, you know, R backwards, of course.
And you know what's funny though? How your brain works? That I didn't, till now, I never noticed that it was backwards.
Yes, it was. If you take a look at some of these slides, you will be reminded.
I just thought, I said, wow.
Question number two. Originally, Jeffrey had a different name. A, Captain Charles. B, Sergeant Giraffe. Or C, Dr. Giraffe. So originally, Jeffrey, the giraffe, had a different name. A, Captain Charles. B, Sergeant Giraffe. Or C, Dr. Giraffe. So GB, wow. A, B, or C?
I want to say Captain, but Dr. Giraffe, maybe. That's probably why they got the G for Jeffrey.
So C.
So I want to say C.
All right. Player one. No Googling.
No, I'm not Googling.
I'm kidding.
You know, for some reason, I'm gonna say B. Sergeant something. I remember something that was maybe military. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Maybe.
So B.
Yeah, I'm gonna say B.
All right. So drum roll. And the answer is C. Yes. Dr. Giraffe. Now, I really didn't see any explanation why it just got simplified to, you know, Jeffrey the Giraffe. But, you know, I guess, you know, he was trying to play around with the name and maybe, you know, Jeffrey Dr. Giraffe. But then a doctor. I don't know if I would have been so, you know, manipulated by
you would have
visiting a mascot that was a doctor.
Or a priest.
You would have probably pushed for Captain.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I probably would have pushed for that. All right, number 3. Jeffrey the giraffe has spots, right? So when he started off, he had spots because he's a giraffe. In 2007, they were replaced. So instead of spots, A, with small toys, B, with stars, or C, with Toys R Us logo. So Jeffrey the giraffe has spots, and that's how he started off, like a regular giraffe, you know, spots everywhere on the body. In 2007, they were replaced. So instead of spots, they were replaced by A, small toys, so small toys all over, B, stars, or C, Toys R Us logo.
I'm gonna say B, stars.
Okay, so B, stars.
I'm gonna say B, and my explanation is the first two are kind of whatever, but also in the logo recently there is a star behind the R.
Okay.
So I want to say that.
All right, so the answer is B, stars. Yeah, very good. Okay, I was trying to throw you guys out. I was trying to think, you know, maybe small toys, maybe they didn't recognize it, or maybe the Toys R Us logo seemed that it could have been another one. But hey, trust me, when I put these things together, I do try to challenge you guys, but you guys are doing good so far. And the last question right here on Bogy Battle Bragging Bonus Trivia is Jeffrey the giraffe's son. What is his name? Is it A, Junior, B, Fidel, or C, Peter Parker? So Jeffrey the giraffe's son, what is his name? A, Junior, B, Fidel, or C, Peter Parker?
Damn, you are challenging us with this one, man.
This one's tough.
So, GB.
I want to say A.
A,
Yeah.
Junior.
Really? Okay, I'll go with Grace. A.
A, Junior. And the answer is A, Junior. All right, very good. Yeah, Charles Lazarus was thinking about Fidel, but he said, no, I think I'll skip that one. Okay, let's see what else we got for you guys. So we got some websites.
Who won?
Huh?
Who won the Bogy Bragging Rights Trivia?
Everybody that is watching, yeah, good job. All right. So here's some websites that you definitely want to check out. You can still go to www.toysrus.com. YouTube, go ahead and type in Toys R Us online, and you're going to see old videos, including commercials. Facebook, /Toys R Us. Now, of course, they do have like one last entry in 2019, and from previous to that, just some older 2018 things, but hopefully we're going to be seeing a lot more news, you know, that something's going on with Toys R Us. If you want to get more information on them, go on to Wikipedia. Wikipedia is awesome. Just type in Toys R Us so you can see their full-blown history. Now, if you really want to see an awesome interview of Charles Lazarus, where he talks about, you know, everything, there's a YouTube video dated August 24, 2016. The name of it, just type this: Charles Lazarus, founder of Toys R Us. Okay, Charles Lazarus, the founder of Toys R Us. And there's hardly any interviews on him, but this is a really good one. Yeah, and he actually talks about the anticipation and anticipating the baby boom. He talks about toys and what it means to him, and he leaves a little message to his grandchildren. So you know, very nice to read. And let me tell you this: from a lot of the research that I've done, read, seen videos, and all that, this guy Charles Lazarus was a very humble guy. All the way till he passed away. You know, there's not too many people that, you know, you can say that are in power, you know, and are that powerful that long. And sometimes, you know, power changes people, but this guy, he just always seemed so, he was like a Stan Lee. You know, he just always was thinking about the kids and what he could do and what he could do for the communities, and just an amazing person. Another video that...
Modern day Santa?
Yeah. Another great video that I found that you definitely have to check out is a mini documentary. Again, this is in toysrus.com, in YouTube, and it's called Toys R Us Kids, a mini documentary. It was published March of 2018, and it talks, to a lot of guys about our age, and asking them about their experiences, and you can tell they're huge toy collectors because, man, behind them, and they just have, you know, collections like stuff that you have here. So it's a really great video to check out. All right.
I grabbed these from the Warp Zone.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
You've been through it.
Yes. Yeah, and I wanted to get the heck out. So let's go ahead and go into a very special treat we have for you guys. We are going to go ahead and kick in our vocal powers, our pipes. And we're gonna sing the theme song of Toys R Us Kid. Now, the Toys R Us theme. Now, if you know the words, go ahead and sing along with us. You gentlemen ready?
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. I wanna grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. I don't wanna grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got the best for so much less. You really flip your lid. From bikes to trains to video games, it's the biggest toy store there is. Gee whiz! I don't wanna grow up, cause maybe if I did, I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
More games.
More toys.
Oh boy! I wanna be a Toys R Us kid. There you go. All right, exclusive here for the very first time on the Gamers Attic.
First
the
time.
crew
First
singing. That's right. And we didn't even charge. Free preview. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here with me here on Bogy's Corner. Ghostbusters Chris, my boy Player One. Quick shout out here too. Soy Fabulous, Geomaster, Player One, Yvonne One, 24/7 Lou, OMB, Ghostbusters Chris, Mega Man, Sergeant Hess, ALUCARD, Jerry the Wizard, all the T.G.A fanatics far and near, and all the Bogy's Corners fanatics out there. So this is Captain Bogy. You just witnessed another episode of Bogy's Corner. Enough said.
Game over.